Hi guys, this is another really quick, or at least I hope it'll be quick, video, step by step, part of what we covered in class. I know we covered a lot, so if you need more videos, just let me know. First step is to get rid of this star juncture. Make sure you do that. How dense you want your Z remeshing to be is up to you, but I usually go between 1 and 2 for 1 and 2000. Then I can divide up from here, and we can get something nice and smooth. You want something really dense for a relief, but for Boolean, you may not have to go quite as dense, and Boolean is what I want to talk about today. So let's get on with the show. When we add objects here, you can do it either in Dynamesh or not. If you choose to not use Dynamesh, make sure to delete your lower subdivision levels. And this is why we don't go too high with this. We can always divide up later. From here, we can hit BIT for insert mesh or primitive, and we can now begin to insert our primitives. Here's another cylinder. You're probably wondering why, but I want to make a ring that kind of fits on the outside of this. From here you can split this off using subtool split to unmask points. This now makes a separate subtool. I can click this. Remember Alt, by the way, will allow you to switch between subtools. So remember Alt click to go between your subtools. Also, if you click the home button when you turn on your gizmo, that will take you to the very home of that object. So you can actually do that with your objects, and that will kind of get you your center point. But in this case, I really want the two objects to line up as closely as possible, like centered wise. And from here, I want to take one of these, like the ring, and I want to change the thickness of the ring. You can do this really easily under Tool, Deformation, and then with Inflate, you want to go the other direction. You want to deflate. See, in this way, I can make this ring much smaller. Don't deflate too far. I think I've turned it inside out, so be careful of that. There we go. So something like that seems a bit better, although maybe I want to scale in this direction in order to give it more thickness. Now I'm getting closer to what I want. Okay, to make it smoother, of course, divide. So Control D for divide. And let's try to center it up a little bit more. And actually, let's try to scale it as well. Because what I want to do here is I actually want this to be, let me inflate a little bit more. There we go. I actually want this to be a ridge around my amulet, or a kind of a thicker part, I guess you could say. There are a number of ways to do this, but since we're talking about Booleans today, I wanted to use Boolean. Now I have a nice sort of ridge around the amulet, something like that. To duplicate this, if it has no subtools, you can actually hold down the Control button. Excuse me, I said subtools. If it has no divisions, you can hold down Control and drag, but if it does have divisions, you can't do that. So in this case, it has divisions, right? But I can delete them. Hold down Control and drag. Scale again. Sort of similar idea here. And I know it's just eyeballing it, but try to center them. And then the same idea where I can split this using split to unmask points. Now I have two of them. One of them on the outside here, the bigger one, I'll divide again, Control D, and maybe even scale it out slightly again, this direction, just so it's very apparent what I'm doing here. You might do this for a coin as well, the outer ridge of a coin. Then this other one, I actually want to cut out, right? So instead of adding it as an additive, I want to use a subtractive Boolean operation. None of these Boolean options will work unless you click Live Boolean. From here, these icons will now work. So if I hit the subtract button, you can see it's subtracted. Down here, this is the guy I want to subtract. And now you can see the ridge that I've made. And it's interactive at this point. You can actually move it no problem. Hit Shift F if you want to kind of visualize the wireframe, etc. So now I'll be adding and subtracting two different objects. But before I do that, I actually want to make something a little more interesting here and maybe make some sort of ridges around the side of the object or the side of the amulet. So I'll repeat this process one more time because I can have as many subtools as I want in either additive, subtractive, or even intersection, which is the last one here. That's the intersection. Not what I want in this case. Let's go back to subtractive. And if this button is not on, of course, nothing happens. So, excuse me. One more little design element here. I'd like to make some sort of radial stripes here, and I'll do something a little bit different with this cylinder. When I hit X, you can see the symmetry is turned on. When I go to transform and I hit R for radial, you can see I have a lot of dots, but what I'm looking for here is a different axis. So let's switch to Y, turn off X. Nope, wrong one again, sorry. It would have been Z in this case. So there's 8. I want to go a lot higher with this. So let's try 20. I know that's a lot higher than normal. And now we can kind of experiment drawing down our object here to make these cool stripes. Something like this. I might even want to go denser. So let's try 25. Yeah, that's pretty dense. And then I'll go ahead and draw them out and kind of straighten them out also. So these are the stripes that I plan on making. Again, split to unmask points. You can also use group split or even split to similar parts. But usually when you're using this technique, split to unmask is a good idea. P is your perspective. So if you feel like you're getting some camera distortion, hit the P button to turn it off. And then finally, move these new Boolean objects sort of into the mesh. And if you want to scale at this point, you can experiment with your scaling. They're not going to scale individually unless you use inflate and deflate. Push these in this way and then scale along this axis. So they're not quite so huge. Kind of wanted them to go in there, but yeah, something like that. And then because I want them inside this ridge here, so instead of sticking out, I want them to go in, right? I could try using my Boolean here for subtract and I get something pretty cool, kind of a gear in the center. But in reality, I kind of want them to just go inside there, is the problem. So I may have to make a Boolean mesh and then add the subtool again. So I'll move the stripy objects down, Control plus down arrow key. And in this case, I just want a Boolean, what I have here, because clearly getting them just in this shape is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So what I'll do first ring is added, second ring is subtracted. Down here under Boolean, make Boolean mesh, I can now make that new object. If I want to import it into the tool I'm working on, I would go down here to append or insert. Append will add it to the bottom. Insert will add it wherever you are in the stack of subtools. So from here now I have my new object. I can hold down Control up arrow key. I can turn off the old one. And now you can kind of see, well, this is my new thing. I'll turn on those stripy bits there. And that's cool, but I want this to be additive, and I want it to just be sunk down a little bit in the wrong subtool. Remember that Alt-click will take you to the directly to the subtool you are hovering over, and now I'll move this down. That's what I want. Something like that. Pretty cool. Now, if you want to add all this together again, in other words, if you want to bake all this into one object, you can again go down here to Boolean, make Boolean mesh, and yes, it will, in fact, take all the details in that stack and make one object out of it. Take this and sort of hide it and see what the Boolean looks like. That looks pretty nice to me. There's my new mesh. Looks pretty good. So that's kind of how you make some complicated detail work with Boolean objects. If you want, you can delete all this old work, or if you're like me and you are particularly careful about losing stuff, you can always make a folder, call it old, and then drag all of your old work into it. This is just so you still have this. You're probably saying, I can just save my file, and of course you can. There's no question about that. But if you just want to make absolutely sure you're not losing anything, there's one way to do it. Same kind of technique in Photoshop, by the way. Alright, so that's it for using Boolean with subtools. I do want to talk about one last thing here, and that's using Boolean with Dynamesh. This is something that I've mentioned a few times. You can make the Dynamesh, the Boolean operation much faster, but with a little less control by making the mesh a Dynamesh object. So let's try this. I'll go, because the detail is pretty high on this, I'll go way up, like over 1,000, maybe 1,200. And then when I click Dynamesh, you can see maybe some of the detail might be lost, but hopefully at this resolution, it looks pretty good to me. Not bad. Even kept the subtools. So, or excuse me, the polygroups, sorry. So here's how you would punch out or interactive Boolean inside of Dynamesh. Decide what it is that you want to Boolean out. I think a cylinder in this case is fine. And then normally when you click and drag, it's going to add your object, and of course you could then push this through here. You could then go into your subtool palette, you could say split the object and then use the subtool live Boolean stuff, like that's this over here. But that's not what I want to do here. I want to do something a little bit faster. Instead of all of that, simply hold down the Alt button when you're laying down your object. You're going to see the color change, and oddly, the normals will flip. That is to say, the object will be turned inside out. Makes it a lot harder to see, but the idea is with the object turned inside out, it will now be subtracted. The way that you accomplish this is by first holding down the control button and dragging off the model to clear the mask, like so, control drag. And if you do it a second time, and here's the trick, it will remove the object. So there's your interactive Boolean. You may find that a lot faster than using subtool Boolean, but I find subtool Boolean to be a little bit more foolproof and give you a little bit more control. But if speed is what you're after, you're just trying to work fast, then maybe your Dynamesh interactive Boolean might be a little better. Hold down Shift to soften that out, and I think I've gone over quite a bit. So hopefully this has helped, and I'll see you in class.